I am a veteran of the United States.
As one of my nation's fittest and finest, I answered my nation's call to duty.
I mastered the weapons of war and became expert in defense, security, and I made no apology for my skills.
I am a warrior and have seen and done things that many may not understand.
I have proudly served my country with honor and dignity.
I am 1 in 15, a 7%er, a member of a team spanning the nation.
Veteran brothers and sisters, bonded by our common values and experiences.
I now stand ready to serve my veteran teammates.
I will help them face and conquer their enemies, including the demons from within.
I will never abandon an injured veteran teammate.
If they need support, I will carry them. If I cannot carry them, I will call for help.
When I struggle with my own pain, my veteran teammates will support me.
I will reach out of the darkness and grasp their helping hands.
I will never quit. I will never give up. I will never accept defeat.
I am a United States veteran.
I used to live up on South High Street. The old Market Brown School, it's a Catholic school now. I used to sit there and watch the soldiers bring the prisoners to Camp Reynolds. We used to watch them march up the hill, you know, and then the trucks and the jeeps and all that. I used to watch that, and I said I always wanted to be, I always did want to be in the military.
I'd broken my ankle in the last football game of my senior year, and I was sitting in the classroom and I was called down to the office, and I was thinking of all the things that I had done wrong when I was going down, because I didn't know why I was going to the office. It turned out that there was a recruiter there from West Point, and he was interested in me from scholastic as well as the football, and that's how I got started.
A lot of people in my family served, so I always kind of had it in the back of my mind that I would like to serve, and so did my brother. My brother's 2 years older than me, so he went into the Navy first in a nuclear program, and it wasn't too long that I was following him in there.
The Air Force took over my life for 21 years. I got to fly airplanes literally all over the world. I flew C-130s mainly. Other airplanes too, but mainly C-130s. And C-130s are not like fighter planes. They take off, they go someplace, they move people and cargo and stuff, and you spend the night in Tel Aviv or wherever. And then you go the next day and you spend the night in Riyadh. So you get to see a lot of things. A lot of times it's just the airport, but in a hotel, but you get to see things and do things.
We had bunk beds we slept in. We agreed that I would sleep in the bottom bunk for first 6 months, and he would sleep in the upper bunk, and then we'd switch. And at Da Nang, they called that Rocket City, and it wasn't too many nights that we didn't get hit with rockets, and you just got used to rolling out of the bunk and onto the floor and heading down to the bunker. And of course, the first night when we switched, the first night I was up on the top bunk, we got hit. And I just rolled right out, and luckily I was probably half asleep, didn't get hurt. There was a steel or a metal folding chair there. I hit that and broke it all up.
The main experience is I spent 18 months in Africa, Ethiopia. We got into a rock fight one time. My tire blew out, and I was changing my tire, and here was this bunch of baboons coming down over the mountains. Well, my buddy was going to get smart and threw a beer bottle at them. And that didn't work out. They came back throwing rocks at us. We had to get in the car, lock the windows up. Finally, we scared them off, and it was interesting.
Well, the guys that you serve with are unlike civilian life, that you can't describe it unless you've served. That you have this close bond, and you end up that you're with the people, you're for the people that you're serving with. And anybody that's never done it doesn't really understand that.
My job description was a O2D. In military terms, that was a French horn player.
Then I played guitar, played bass guitar with the Army Stage Band and combos. So I was a versatile musician playing more than one instrument, obviously just graduating from college with a music degree. A lot of people in Berlin that were assigned to that brigade were all ASA. They were top secret agents. They were decoding messages from Russia and the Soviet Union. So their break was the entertainment provided either through the military functions or the dances or the parades that they would have. So that was kind of very fulfilling.
I was in Stuttgart, Germany, and I was stationed at an airfield. And this airfield, during World War II, the Germans were really intelligent people. Their airfield was down under a lake. And what they did, in 1943, they would drain the water off that lake, and elevators would bring up the airstrip, put it out for the aircraft to take off from there. And my job then was handling flight records and all that. I wasn't a pilot. I handled all the records and that.
This particular night I was guarding right by the communication center that I worked in. On April Fool's Day at 1 in the morning, we got the first rocket, probably hit closer to me than anybody, other than 3 people were killed. It hit the mess hall, and it was a big rocket. That was the only time I realized I could, defend myself, especially if the people coming at me wanted to kill me.
The Tet Offensive of 1968, it was a big push for North Vietnam to take complete control over the war. And they went an all-out force to completely annihilate the South. And it was a rough battle. It was a skirmish that I will never forget. Just something you won't forget. I mean, it was a wild night of mortar rounds and shooting and people running everywhere, and it was just a complete disaster. It really was. It was scary.
I was on guard duty, and the moon was so bright we could read a newspaper. Then I felt something hit my leg, and it felt like a rock. I instinctively recognized it was a grenade and dove over the sandbag barrier. As the grenade exploded, it sprayed the left side of my body with shrapnel and ruptured my ear. Then the night erupted in rifle fire. I drove back to the other side of the sandbags to return fire. Quickly, the sergeant of the guards ran to my aid. Unfortunately, he had been hit, and due to the heavy fire, I could not get him help, and he died in my arms.
Well, when you land in Vietnam, the first thing, we landed at Long Binh. But when you walk off, it's like 100 degrees, it's hot, and all you smell is this burning refuge. You look across the runway, and then one of the guys says, oh, they're burning waste material, from human waste material. And it was just so scrunchy, and that smell just carries with you the whole time you're over there. And it doesn't matter where you go, you smell it, and it's just, that's the price of war. It's not what you see on TV about seeing somebody dead or shooting somebody. It's the smell of war that really, really gets you, because it just doesn't go away. I graduated from Greenville, and I remember sitting out here, and the day I graduated, and the next thing I know, I went in 7 days after I got out of high school, and here I am in January, 6 months later, landing in a foreign country, dealing with all this, and it's like, are you prepared or not? I don't know. I survived it, and that's all I can say. I survived it.
Our politicians today want an anesthetic war, a war without casualties, no collateral damage. Unfortunately, most of our politicians have never been in the service, let alone combat. And it's just a very dangerous business. There are going to be casualties. But if you're going to do it, you have to go in to win see it through and go all the way.
It made a better person out of me, and I respect other vets, and I respect these young ones going in, doing their tour duty, which I did. I did it for, God and my country, and I'll do it again.
I think I've learned to trust my fellow man, the people that I work with, good friends in civilian life, that it's okay to do that. It's helped my faith very strongly, going through some of the things that, all veterans have gone through.
I think it instilled in me the need to become educated, to be somebody that knows what's going on in life and not live in a bubble.
Well, being 17 or 18 years old and just going into the military, you haven't learned a lot about life yet. It made me realize that everybody's completely different. If one guy wants to choose to do something a little bit different, what this guy does, is he wrong? No. I think everybody has a little different way of doing things, and I think of all the things I learned while I was in the military was that everybody is different.
Involved in the Mercer County Veterans Court. Veterans Courts, it's a diversionary program for veterans that are in the criminal justice system, and a lot of them have issues that are resulting from post-traumatic stress, and they self-medicate, so to speak. So I've been involved in that for 2 years now, and I think it's really, we're doing a service for our veterans, having Veterans Court.
When veterans do come home from this service, in many cases they need support. And one of the ways that I have been able to do support is I'm a volunteer driver for Disabled Veterans of America, driving veterans from the Hermitage, Mercer County to Pittsburgh and to Butler for their VA appointments. I recently signed on as a veteran mentor for the Veterans Court here in Mercer County, which is a program designed that whenever a veteran runs afoul of the law, they're assigned a veteran, and instead of going to jail, they can go to Veterans Court for a 2-year program, and upon successful completion, their record is expunged.
Everyone has been willing to sign the line, has been willing to sacrifice their life. Some actually have sacrificed their life for us to have the freedom that we have every day.
Veterans don't want honor and praise. They just want people to understand what it takes to have the nation that we have.
Not just to honor the veterans and the sacrifices they have done, but to think also of the family of the veterans, the sacrifices they have done.
That's why we were over there. It wasn't because we wanted to be heroes. It was to make sure that our rights were entitled to and handed down through generations.
Our country is free because I have veterans that went before me to make sure I did have freedom to go to school, to right to go anywhere I want to go.
Our country's the finest country on this earth. End of story.